Well, Georgie fans, good evening to this round 10 clash here between George Cross and the visiting Altona Magic, coming to you live from Decker Park. We want to thank our matchday sponsors, Visit Malta. From world-class footballing facilities to crystal clear waters and historic city, Malta is the perfect destination for sport, culture and relaxation. Visit Malta, a Mediterranean experience like no other. We also want to thank Decker. Decker Trifecta Weekend is coming to Shepparton on the 1st and 2nd of August. 3 challenges, 1 goal to prove your fitness. Can you do it? Make sure you sign up. Thank you to all our sponsors and our matchday sponsors for joining us this evening. We hope that wherever you're watching around the world, the boys can bring it home. And for the big match for Morgan Filer, his 100th game.
Last time out, they suffered defeat in their own yard for the first time this campaign, courtesy of a Heidelberg United raid. That continued a turbulent turn. And on Anzac Day, we will observe a minute's silence quickly.
And in the morning, we will remember them. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go, round 10.
A special day to play quite a special game of football. Saturday night under the lights on Anzac Day nonetheless. And despite defeat to Heidelberg last time, St. Caroline Springs George Cross are looking to respond in the best way possible. A slightly turbulent turn of fortunes that's seen only 1 win in 6 for them, though tonight they look to recapture the formidable form of their first few fixtures this season. Altona's trio of points was halted rather abruptly by Dandenong Thunder, and as a result, the Magic move out west, languishing in the relegation zone. Without a win in 2 months in the league, and that was all the way back on opening weekend. The peril of relegation now already a prominent possibility. Resolute on their last travel, Altona will need to garner that grit to get themselves going back in the right direction on what is a massive evening for both of these two teams. My name's Ethan Rigg, and I'm joined out in Caroline Springs by Alex Sivkorowski. Alex, good evening to you. What a wonderful night we have ahead of us.
Yes, thank you, Ethan. Thank you all for joining in. What a momentous occasion this is. It is on Anzac Day. It was beautiful to hear the last post, lest we forget. But more importantly, Morgan Filer's 100th game for George Cross, so that will mean just a little bit extra for the club. Altona Magic have not won a game in over 2 months, so they are looking to get out of that awful drop zone. Big task up ahead of them this evening is George Cross, after coming off that big loss last week against Heidelberg. Eric Vasiliadis is looking for a response this evening, and it's going to be, let's just hope, a big game and a lot of goals as we've seen over the weekend.
That, of course, their first defeat at home back in the top flight, something they will not want to make much of a habit of, if they are to keep themselves going in the right direction, to steer well away from the relegation spots, and even at this point in time, the season's in its early stages, to get themselves maybe a bit of a finals look. Alex, why don't you take us through the starting lineups as we get underway out west?
We have our starting lineups. Number 2 is for George Cross is Jordan Tucker for Michael Zoutsidis. Number 5, Morgan Filer. Number 6, the captain Tyler James. Number 8, Nicholas Dibb. Number 10, Leo Marzis. 11 is Joshua Whiteley. 16 is Daniel Cutler. 18, Luke Lofts. Number 27, Armand Bernardo. And number 40 in goals is Christian Siciliano. And for the Magic, we've got in goals Casey Wendt. Number 2, Hiyori Kawaguchi. Number 5, Lachlan Gillard. 5 is Garang Aru. 7, John Mabok. 10, Amain Sordo. Number 15, Alexander Gust. 16, Brian Sutomo. Number 17, the captain, Daniel Fabrizio. 19, Peter Hatzopoulos. And number 22 is Oliver Callard.
A couple of squads well rotated. This, the 40th meeting across all competitions between these two sides. The history favours Altona. They will be hoping it repeats itself this evening. They are in dire need of 3 points that, especially on their travels, would prove precious. They've gone okay on the road this season so far. 5 of their 6 points have come away from Paisley Park. Last time on their travels, they rescued it late, they left it late. Pinched a point off of Heidelberg on what was quite a blustery Saturday at Olympic Village on that occasion. Tonight, far fairer in terms of its temperament. Kawaguchi nodded it on. A scrappy early couple of minutes, neither side able to get much of a grip on this game. Sordo's touch a little bit loose. Magic side who have struggled to stop goals from going in so far this season.
Which has been interesting. Last season they were probably one of the better sides with their goal difference, but this year changed. But George Cross have the lowest goals conceded with 9, but also one of the bottom 3 teams with goals scored with 9 as well. So they're looking to obviously add to their tally tonight. Interesting fact for you, Ethan, the first time they met was 1989 in the round 3 of the Doherty Cup. Magic winning 2-1. The last time they met, same thing happened in the Doherty Cup, and Magic won that game as well. So a little bit of an omen for them. So it's been quite a while since George Cross have beaten Altona Magic. We'll have to go back all the way to 2013, which was in Division 1 back then. So for those older folks watching at home would remember the Division 1. So it's been a long time between drinks since Georgies have tasted victory against Magic.
And their last league meeting, just to bounce off that, almost 8 years ago now. The final time in the top flight, verging on over a decade and a half. This has been a fixture some time in the making. Caroline Springs, George Cross, looking to get themselves an early opportunity. Thrusted long by quickly into the area. Clearance by Altona wasn't convincing. And now Whiteley will get another go. Stood it up teasingly to the back post, and Wendt had to be sure to go and gather it rather confidently.
Yeah, it's something that George Cross will have to really target. Casey Wendt has at times given away some cheap goals for the Magic, and as we can see there, not the best of kicks as Fabrizio doing well to get it under control. Pickpocketed by Lofts. Cutler. James just put it behind Marzis as they look to switch it out. Siciliano coming out, so we'll see a lot of that this evening, Ethan, where Siciliano likes to come out and cause Eric Vasiliadis quite a few heart-racing moments at times.
Been a big part of a defence that have done so well. The only side yet to concede double digits in the division so far this season, Caroline Springs, George Cross. It's been a start to their campaign built on defensive defiance. Altona will be looking to break that down. So far this evening, haven't been able to cause too much of a threat. Gust happy to set it back for Kawaguchi. Steered it on for Sordo, who got away from Tucker. The first time, but not the second. That's a tidy touch on. Jonathan Lofts happy to set it back. For the Magic, it's been a little bit of a tale for them on the road this season. a very direct style of play, which is maybe why it's favoured them on their travels away from Paisley Park.
Yeah, I think so. Goran Lozanowski, obviously himself being a former player and midfielder, obviously likes that you know, balls into the box, cause a bit of havoc. But as you mentioned, Kawaguchi, probably not the tallest of centre-backs we've seen in this league, but he's so far doing an almighty job for the Magic. He's hoping that he can continue that this evening, but it's going to be, I feel like you said, it's going to be a lot of balls into the box, and which keeper deals with it best is probably going to be the victor in the end.
Kawaguchi, as well as Gillard. They are, of course, without Lirim Almazi this evening. Not only go down with injury a couple of weeks ago, they tried to push him through against his former side, and he, unfortunately, couldn't make it beyond half an hour on that occasion. So they've gone for the rotation. Gillard, the one dropping in this evening for Altona. Carolines brings George Cross wanting to make a strong start. Sutermo happy to hook it away.
So to wrap up of the game so far, we started Friday night. Preston winning 4-0. Heidelberg winning 2-1, and then Dandy Thunder scoring very late in the derby to make it 1-0. South winning 4-0 against Dinamo, and Oakley rounding it out 4-0 against Bentley. So a bit of a goal fest this round. We're hoping it continue here tonight, and also tomorrow we've got the Melbourne City Academy side against Hume City, so that'll be an interesting game as well. So let's hope that we see plenty of goals across both those games. I'm sure the teams are looking forward to these type of challenges.
Quite the weekend across the Channel National Premier League Victoria Men's. Thunder again pinching it late against City. A good way to avenge that finals loss last season, though it won't get rid of the entirety of that sour taste. There is no doubt that they would be happy to get one back over the neighbours.
Are they the noisy neighbours, as we like to hear?
They certainly made a lot of noise towards the back end of last season to start this season too. Here's Garangoao, who is looking to make some noise for Altona. Drifted away from one, set it on from Mabok, who wasn't able to steer it wide. And then went and won it back. Sutomo, Hatzopoulos. Good little patch at the moment for the Magic, and they might have an opportunity. Whipped teasingly to the back post. Lurking was Sordo. An important flick cleared only as far as Fabrizio, who steered it on. That's a tidy run from Hatzopoulos. Sordo, unable to steer it into the area. Coming across quickly to block was Whiteley, but it's the first real bit of adventure we've seen from Altona this evening. Yeah,
definitely something that Goran Lozanowski wants the side to do. He's obviously understands the importance of this game, and 3 points is massive in this grand scheme of things. And for Altona in that bottom half of the table, even if they do get a win, they still will be in the bottom three. For Georgies, a win for them can put them into the top six, as Morgan Filer shanked that one off. I'm sure if he had his time again, he would definitely want a much more cleaner clearance there. So the 100-game player for Georgies. Oh, it's another mistake there, Siciliano. So a couple of errors that not getting punished at the moment, Ethan, but potentially can continue. One of those might end up in the back of the net.
Altona sensing a fraction of frailty about the way that Caroline Springs George Cross have looked to play out at the start of this game. Magic knowing they have to make inroads. How quickly a small bit of relegation trouble can become embroiled deeply in a battle.
And they're a side that can do that. They'll go on a 3-game win streak and then get out of trouble. So that's something that Eric Vasiliadis and his charges will know, that despite where they are positioned in a ladder, the 3 points today is an absolute must for them. So Michael Zoutsidis having a look, is looking to run up the top as Morgan Filer. So they'll look to go long here tonight, as we've seen one of the perks for George Cross. They like to send it in long, so we'll see what comes out of this. Joshua Whiteley on this side. Gets a good bit of distance in there into the box. It's headed away. Still not out of trouble yet. Cutler just holding it up. Eventually gets a shot off, and it will be a corner.
Cutler just really bundled his way through the lot. And the first real opportunity of the evening from a set piece. Here's one for the hosts. Whiteley will be the one to take. All are up. Sordo the only one there for an Altona break if they are to provide it. Caroline Springs George Cross wanting a quick start. Whiteley with depth whip dangerously. Went got a punch on it. Altona didn't quite clear their lines. Looking to keep it alive was Cutler, and he wasn't best pleased about the foul given the other way. And now Sordo has got a couple to go, and he shifted away from one and couldn't steer it for Fabrizio on the break. Tsutsidi was there to clear. Marzis wasn't able to go further, and Kawaguchi was on hand to clatter it away. But Altona just had a glimmer on the break momentarily, and George Cross hearts would have been in mouths.
Yeah, it's probably lucky for George Cross there that they did have a defender back in line. That was a good opportunity. Well, Ross Clark calling that one a clean foul, so Georges will be hoping for a little bit of consistency there. They go wide to Leo Marzis now. Looks to come back in, has a shot. Oh, did he get a fingertip to it? No. So first real chance going to Georges, just wide of the target.
Agonisingly wide from Leo Marzis, who's no stranger to a goal this season. He's been taking to life in the top flight, akin to how a duck takes to water. A superb start to his life in the top flight at Caroline Springs George Cross. It's been one of the really, really big factors in the strong start that this side made this season. That has had some momentum halt recently. Yeah, that being said, 3 points this evening, and the table would reflect in a way that you wouldn't know that.
As I say, a week is a long time in football, and one result can change that. But if it goes the other way, it can definitely make your life a little bit more difficult, especially with George's then next run of games. Next week they've got Avondale, and they're back home after that, so they'll be hoping to maximise as much as they can out of this game, as Altona is as well. That next week they've got Dandy City at home, so Dandy City will be reeling off that late winner last night against them. So both teams are desperate for 3 points. As you mentioned, this is their 40th time they've played together, and as you said, it's in favour of the Magic, 22. So Magic do have the number on them.
That game against Dandenong City as well. It's too early in the season to call it a six-pointer. However, there is a lot riding on that. And here is Mabok, who is trying to wriggle his way down the right-hand side. He's marshalled well in the end. Clearance was no further than Sitomo, who again was quickly across. Altona have started brightly, though this opening patch of the game.
Another long throw there, headed back. Cleared by Zoutsidis. Cut off in the end by Gillard, so a hot ball in the middle of the park is opportunity now. That Lofts goes wide. Marzi switching to the right-hand side, tried to go back on his left, but good defensive duties there by the Magic as they look to clear Fabrizio. He's been everywhere at the moment. As a charging forward now, Magic look to get numbers forward. Tried to thread the needle there, but again cut off by Zoutsidis. So you can see, Ethan, that Magic wants to play that through ball, trying to catch up the Georges in defence.
There's quite an openness on the counter as well. Sitomo just wanting to slide it through. Keller obliged him with the run. A couple of shouts for a foul throw, and would you believe it? Would you believe it? Garangarao might want that one back. He's been in quite touch in front of goal as well in recent weeks, 2 in his last 2. That may be a moment he'd like to forget.
I think the coach, Goran Lozanovsky, will give him a reprieve after his goal against Heidelberg, but he hopes he doesn't see that again, that's for sure.
Quite remarkable, really. There's Mabok, able to drop in and win it back. Neither side really able to find much rhythm. Caroline Springs George Cross in a hurry. Gillards nodded it on for Kawaguchi. It was momentarily awkward. It was cut out well in the end by Tucker Mabok. And him then became entangled, and Altona have a free kick. Nothing overly sinister.
Just Just having a look back at the replay here. Didn't look, as you said, Ethan, not too harsh there, but nevertheless, well, probably very lucky that Tucker didn't get a caution in that one, so might be just need to be careful over the next few possessions. 15 minutes played here at Decker Park, and it's still 0-0. Kawaguchi to play it down the line. It's real good football here from the Magic. Good crossing from Hatzopoulos, headed away. Whiteley there to clean up for George Cross. Looks to go down the line, but Gillard had him covered. Just doesn't seem like no one wants to take control of the game as yet. Still trying to feel each other out, see where they can find each other's weakness.
Very sporadic start out west. That's a lovely bit of footwork from Kawaguchi, whose switch then was rather short of Kellard's, and it may create an opportunity. James leading the counter the other way. Spin it on for Marzis. That's a much better switch, and he's now got Gus to go at. Leo Marzis went one way, then the other, went around two, and had his effort ricochet and smashed into Gillard. Fabrizio then went to go and win it. It was flicked on, and a real sighter from Nicholas Dibb. One which Went was unbothered by.
Yeah, Nick Dibb there. We know he's got the range. Just at that time, probably would want to hope to get it at least a force a save out of Casey Went. A lot better from George Cross there. You can see Mars is just trying to cut back on his left foot, but all the defenders knew what he is trying to achieve and blocked that well from Gillard.
First real shot spared, and that's a beauty of a ball from Went. And Sordo's touch let him down on that occasion. He had the entirety of the left-hand side to himself. It was mopped up well in the end. Marzis dropped off and then got away from Gust with ease. A wonderful turn of pace. Maybe an opportunity for George Cross to counter. Filer steered it on. Jonathan Lofts kept it alive well, and it's moved on to Marzis again. They want to be intricate. Mabok came crashing through. Gillard then came away with it. Sordo left it for Gust. Hatzopoulos as well further forward. Sordo had two in retreat. He's happy to set it back for Kawaguchi, on for Fabrizio. Sordo.
Just watching Leo Marzis there, he copped one in the face, so that's why he's gone down. Let's hope it's nothing too serious. Might be seeing a few little Tweety birds for a little while, as good on Casey Went, just checking up on him. But as you said there, what a ball that was from Casey Went. It was beautifully done. He gets a fair bit of distance from his kicks, which is a promising sign for the Magic, something they could take advantage of. So Georges will need to know, maybe not step up too far and allow the Magic players to creep in from behind, as Ross Clark's just checks on Leo Marzis there.
Thankfully for Caroline Springs, George Cross, their number 10 is all right. He's already gone on a couple of marauding, amazing runs. Altona, though, trying to dictate terms of this game. Kawaguchi went back for Went, who's ventured for the first time this evening. He then wanted to spear one for Sordo. Tucker had to be vigilant, and in the end was so.
Very lucky there, Jordan Tucker. Almost got a touch to that, so it would have been quite embarrassing. So Magic now turn their attention, trying to win this ball back. They've had a good couple of minutes of a few passages, as Filer again leaves it very late, gets clipped from behind. Play on is the call, and Daniel Cutler gives away a foul, but I think it's going to come back this way. Goran Lozanowski not happy with that at all. And players are just a little bit confused as where this one is ending up. Fourth official not wanting us to show his skills there, just allowing the ball to go over him. Siciliano sends it high ball. Cutler the target again. Kawaguchi winning that header. Despite the stature and size, he definitely leaps quite high for the centre-back. What have you seen in the opening 20 minutes here, Ethan? Do you feel like any team has got the edge so far, or you think it's still pretty even?
Proper arm wrestle so far. Altona have looked to play the football. That being said, George Cross on the break have looked electric and have looked rapid, and that's a lovely turn of pace from Mabok, who moved it on for Kellart. Two were converging, one was Hatzopoulos, and Tucker was on hand to clear. Well, Kellart will make sure it stays alive. He fancies another go. Trying to twist and turn his way to work a yard. Kellart did well, had a more dangerous whip from Mabok, and Siciliano was unbothered. But that being said, the Magic are building the momentum.
Yeah, Siciliano had a better view than what we had here. He left it awfully late. Goes direct route in the middle, and again, Gus just happy to bring that one down. Lovely touch that time from Sordo. Magic now really turning through the gears as Fabrizio goes wide. Benadu gets it under control as the shouts for handball. Will be a brave referee to call that one, as they again look to go long, and Gillard happy to see that one go over the line.
Quite the first 20 minutes. Neither side able to break through just yet. Hatzopoulos dropped off. And searching for Gust on the switch. Tucker, who's been quite busy, did well once again. Now Marzis wasn't able to steer it away from Sordo, who then gave him a helping hand at the second time. Tucker. And searching in the channel. Kawaguchi the only one there. Marzis in retreat. Flicked it on for Sordo. He wanted to clip it for Kellart. Benhadou had just to be a little bit vigilant. A rout. Again, Benhadou happy to clear it away. And Whiteley thought he had won it, though didn't.
See a few of the Georgie players in defence just second-guessing themselves whether to attack the ball or let it drop, and they need to be a little bit more clinical, because that's where you can make a mistake when you're in two thoughts and you think you're going to do one thing but you end up doing the other and end up costing you. So at the moment it's okay, but definitely something that they need to think about, ensure that they are trusting their judgment and attacking the ball rather than allowing it to drop. As went lovely ball out wide. His distribution this evening has been very good. Magic just can't get it to a man as they clear it, but again, it's all white shirts again. The cross comes in, it looks like a deep ball in. Tucker brings it under control, spins out of trouble, looks for the line. Marzis, good work by Gust. He's got two to beat. Alexander Gust. It's flicked on. Oh, has that gone in is the question there.
My word. My goodness me. Christian Siciliano nearly had a moment. Oh, so nearly had a moment. Must have been a matter of inches from almost a complete piece of misfortune that would have gifted Altona the lead. Kawaguchi went searching. Mabok dropped it off for Arau. He steered it back from Mabok tidily. He's got two to go round and wasn't able to. And that one comfier for Siciliano, who again doesn't get a lot on his clearance. Sordo had two to go around, and Tucker ensured it took the final ricochet. A real cautious couple of minutes for the goalkeeper, who is maybe not out of the woods yet, as Altona want to pile on the pressure. Arau went searching from a block. Succeedus went sliding in. Arau had Hatzopoulos. He wasn't able to flick it for Fabrizio, who had gone.
Yeah, a couple of nervy moments there for George Cross, and as we said, it's that decision-making. Just I'm not sure what was Siciliano thinking there, but they get out of trouble, as you said, for the meantime, and you can't afford to do that again as Tucker puts himself under the pump there. And it's just been all Magic over the last couple of minutes here, Ethan. They have really just been on top of George Cross, and Eric Vasiliard is trying to get his team over the line at the moment, but the players on the pitch, we need some leadership from someone there. Just need to get back into this game as James doing defensive duties.
Complete chaos at the back for Caroline Springs George Cross.
That's one way to put it.
And somehow, some way, they came out of it unscathed for the time being. Altona, though, are really looking to press home their ascendancy. Had a couple of good opportunities, a couple of nearly moments. Hatzopoulos had one which, had he flicked for Fabrizio, he would have been in. Brief stoppage, Gust took too many yards, more than he was afforded. Just being told to retreat. Hatzopoulos dropped off well for him. Didn't have an option further down the line. Marzis to steer it away. Fabrizio, tidy. Sotomo, Kellart clipped it on. And once more, Fabrizio and Hatzopoulos were converging. Tucker had two with him. And they seem to be favouring that left-hand side. They've had a lot of joy in the opening 25 minutes. Gus planning a long throw. Gillard making his way forward. Arau at the back post. Gus went launching. Flicked away. Well, in the end by Soutsidis, and maybe an opportunity to present itself for George Cross on the break. Brilliantly done by Cutler, who wanted a free kick. In the end, went to mop it up. Speared long again for Tucker. Fabrizio was hot on his heels. Was able to take a touch round him.
It's going to be a goal kick. Cutler there just held on to it for a little bit too long. You can see they had an overlapping run with Marzis and just couldn't get it to him. As we said, at the moment, decision-making by George Cross is just second-guessing themselves. With Magic, though, they're playing that beautiful, quick football, catching George Cross out, so they need to be careful here. We've seen how they can concede quickly against Heidelberg a few weeks back. They can't afford to do the same tonight, because once Altona get their lead, they're very hard to break down. As Siciliano again, Cutler completely missed the ball as Gus looks to play it in. James wanting a high free kick. Ross Clark is not the slightest interested in that one, and Magic again will bring it in as Gus looks to go long. You can see the fluidity by the Magic. They don't look like a team that's at the bottom of the ladder. As Cutler now probably should have gone down the line as Gillard clears it where it came from. Tucker, or he puts it back into the hot spot, but Dib is there to clean up, and I'll go to Siciliano.
Caroline Springs, George Cross, just really struggling for any real sort of structure. That's brilliant from Mabok to go and win it. Fabrizio, Sordo turned blindly, but it ricocheted back for Mabok. He's happy to calm things down with Kawaguchi. Sutomo. And Altona so far, for all their trying, have still not found a way beyond Siciliano. Went speared long. Kellart was having a lot asked of him on that occasion.
Well, you can see by the home fans that are sitting in the stand, not a peep out of them. Usually we hear them, they're quite vocal, but at the moment, they're shell-shocked as well. The team that's playing on the park at the moment does not look like the one that's been in the opening 9 games. So maybe if they can get their voice back and try to get their team, give them that little bit of edge to get them back onto the same terms in sense of effort. At the moment, it's just been Magic all one way.
There was a drum here pre-kickoff, and for those using it, they were in rather fine nick at the moment. They haven't been given anything to bang on about, and Altona are making sure that their evening is just turning a bit more sombre and a bit more muted. That's really well won, however, and now maybe an opportunity for George Cross to go. Ben Hadou went and won it back and continued his run. It was steered on looking for Mazis at the back post, nodded away by Gust. Hatzopoulos dropped in to lend a helping hand and helped it on for Sordo, who fancies a really good go at James. Steered it on for Mabok. He's got a yard, he went early, and Siciliano readjusted in time. And although wearing one rather awkwardly, was able to deny Mabok. And now, his search is long once again. Gave Cutler one to battle with. Sutomo went and won the second ball. Sordo. Kawaguchi lets it run for Wendt. And now Gillards. Threaded for Kellart, who dropped off. Trying to open that space down the right-hand side. And that pocket opened up for Mabok. Oh, the ball was driven too long. Filer happy to marshal it back to Siciliano.
Just seems like the 1%ers are not there for George Cross. You can see that the passes are not there. You can see that just turning it over very cheaply, allowing Altona to get back into position and get control of the ball. And at the moment, they just really seem to be second in everything at the moment, in the chances created, in the passing and in effort. So Eric Vasiliadis knows he has to get his side up and going. He's got another 15 minutes left to go in this half. Maybe at half-time hairdryer treatment might just get the boys a little bit of a wake-up call, but at the moment it's just been all Altona magic.
And on the flip side of that, if you are Goran Lozanovski, you'd be content without being too jubilant. They still have not found a way beyond. And George Cross have not yet found a rhythm. Aral did well to win that. Sotomo, Fabrizio, that's a tidy flick. And Kellart's got room to go into. Sordo. Now to shift his way inside. Again, wanted to steer from a block. Soutsidis got up. Dip dropped it off. And Whiteley's return was a good one. And away from Fabrizio. That's a lovely turn. And the clip into the channel. Again, asked a lot of Cutler. Came crashing through. Dip's touch was a little loose and it invited Hatzopoulos. Sordo had two around him. And this time Tucker went and picked his pocket and he can go on the drive. Kawaguchi in retreat. And the return was not there and went charging. Cutler's clip, inventive. Tucker took a tumble just as he was looking to make that overlapping run.
Yeah, just a poor pass there from Daniel Cutler. He just needed to get it to his intended target and they were through on goal, and now a magic go up the other end as Fabrizio goes wide. It's a lovely ball, but the offside flag is going to get raised. And that's probably a let off there. And George Cross, you can see it's starting to click a little bit, but more consistency is required at the moment. As we said, those 1%ers is where you get the opportunities, and at the moment there's not enough of those at this stage, but it's a good darting run there from Jordan Tucker. So maybe get the wing backs to play forward for a little bit as Siciliano goes long. Marzis flicks it on, Loss brings it down. Marzis just couldn't get it under control as Gillard now will come away with it. Seems like the centre backs are to go. Oh, it's a late challenge there from Whiteley. No card given there. Interesting call there, Ethan.
It was a late lunge from Whiteley. He may consider himself fortuitous. Gillard was going on a marauding run. He did well to evade the first two bands of press, and then just as he looked to release Mabok further forward, Hatzopoulos had gone on a charge as well. It was a little bit of a late lunge from Whiteley. There is a check on Gillard, and he's all right. Well, just for Goran Lozanovski, he's lost one centre-half this month. He doesn't want to lose another. That would not be something prosperous for Altona Magic. And the last thing you want in a relegation battle is a defensive crisis, as Wendt gave it too much for gust. Haven't been able to create through those set pieces thus far, have Altona. And then for their strong start, it seems to have just petered out a little bit. George Cross have weathered the storm. That's flicked away for Gillards, who asked a lot of Hatzopoulos. Dib and Kellart became entangled, and Dib gave away a free kick.
Yeah, it's a silly foul to give away there. Not required. Really need to ensure that the ball's moving, because the longer the game goes where there's stop-start football, it suits Altona Magic quite a lot, and they'll be happy with that. But it's just a silly foul to give, especially in the position that they're in now. A simple cross into the box with someone on the end of it, and they could really do some damage. So pressure moments now for the George Cross defence. As the ball comes in, they decided to go for goal or a cross. I'm not too sure what that was, but he'll definitely look back at that one and think, maybe I should have just played the percentages there. So sometimes we wonder what the players are thinking of, and Armain Sordo was probably thinking the same. So Siciliano goes short. Again, it's Filer and Tucker just not on the same page this evening. We've seen that a couple times where they put each other on the pump. Can Magic take advantage of that lovely work? It's Gus now. Crosses one, looking for the back post. Siciliano this time makes sure he gets it under control.
Once again, opportunities go begging. And Caroline Springs, George Cross not helping themselves at the moment. When it comes to playing out, there is a real tentativeness, almost a nerve, whenever they look to play out at the moment. And the Magic have pressed well in this half. And Gust just in conversation with the fourth official about where, in fact, he can throw it in from. Well, Bob quickly dropped off for him. Marzi's got a foot on it. Dib. Going to find a way out. Tucker was his only option. 10 to the break. Out west at the moment. On what is really not just a corker of a day, a corker of a night in Caroline Springs. Either side able to break through. Altona have asked a lot of questions. Siciliano, despite a brief scare, has been able to answer all of them thus far. Gust is going for a long throw once more. Waves away the short option of Kellart, who had dropped off. Another nervy moment. Flick on at the near post. Mabok was wrestled with and steered his effort over. Did well to make contact as he was rather entangled with Soutsidis.
Again, Mabok just showing his strength there. Zoutidis obviously coming back from that suspension against Heidelberg. He served it in a Doherty Cup game, so he knows that the next couple of weeks are important if he wants to contribute to this side. So Siciliano this time going to the left-hand side. Aru is able to bring it under control there, and it's far too easy for the Magic as Dib going wide. It's Whiteley now. Cutler chasing forward. Can Whiteley get it to him? He brings it in the back. Gust is there. It's flicked on. James going back to Bernardo. Plays it into Whiteley. And again, it's those 1% as we talk about, just playing the simple pass. And at the moment, the Magic really just picking him off as Filer's got to be careful here. He sends a long ball forward. Planning for a foul, but falls to Cutler. Marzis. Loss. James. And that's gone into a car park there.
Better, however, from George Cross. The most sustained pressure they've put on Altona in this first half. It was really, really well held up by Cutler. He just invited all of the runners off him. And Jonathan Lofts worked well in tandem. Marzis wanted the drop off, and then James came screeching through. One maybe he would want back, though. He certainly had the power, although certainly did not have the placement. But that being said, the first time that Altona perhaps have just had a little bit of a scare. The first time that Caroline Springs, George Cross have been able to get at them. Filer, one up well. Sordo dropped it off for Fabrizio, who got away from James. That's well worked by Gust. And now Sordo's got a yard. And Mabok was advancing. He tried to steer it on. Shouts for hand. Ball waved away. Siciliano there to gather and immediately wants to go and wants to give Cutler one to chase. Gillard in retreat. Did well to read it. Fabrizio will make it work. Sutomo happy to keep it. Kawaguchi set back for Wentz. And they've dealt well with the threat that's been posed. Went dropped off for Hatsopoulos, and Soutsidis did well to ensure that it wasn't easy for him to go and win. Then he got it back from Whiteley. Ben Hadou had advanced, drilled a cross in low. Shout for handball this time, and George Cross have a free kick.
Yeah, big moment in the game there up the other end for the Magic. They really should have pulled the trigger. You can see Goran Lozanowski saying, just shoot. Didn't need to pass it, so now it goes up the other end. This is where George Cross can be a little bit more dangerous. This is where they can somehow find someone on the end of it to really force at least a goal or a save out of Casey Wen. He's had a quiet evening so far. So it'll be testing times here for both sides. Magic know they can't afford to go a goal down with a couple minutes left to go before half-time. George Cross know their chances have come far and few at this stage. And this is where they need to really take ownership now. Ross Clark just pushing the wall back. Love how players try to sneak in a yard or two. You know that the referee's going to be on him. And now there's an opportunity here for George Cross. Whistle goes. It's a lofty chip at the back post. It's headed down by Tucker that time. But no one able to get on the end of it, Ethan.
Did well to get clean contact. It's a brilliant ball with immense depth. And Sordo has timed his run, and the flag had stayed down momentarily, though inevitably eventually went up. They've had a really good opportunity. The first set piece that neither side has squandered so far this evening was put into a good area. Tucker timed his run well, had 2 to contend with, and it just lacked the pace really to trouble Wentz. Otherwise he may have been called into action in a penalty area that was growing in increasing chaos. So a couple of Georgie's looks. Final 5 of the first half. And they might get another opportunity. Whiteley worked it well. Ben Hadou sliding in was Gillards. Morale then had to clear. Though they started slowly. Caroline Springs, George Cross are now making up for lost time. Filer, that's a tidy ball. Well taken by Whiteley. Set it off for Dibb, who drilled it, and Cutler had got in behind. Gus did well in retreat. And then had to clear his lines. Fabrizio flicked it onto no avail. Filer happy to reset. Siciliano, who's just started to become more assured by foot. Jonathan Lofts did well. Flicked it on for Dibb, and now Whiteley, and the flag has stayed down. He's got around the row, 2 converging, cleared well by Karaguchi, and then at the second time, Gillards gallantly, and perhaps Altona can break. Maboka's got in behind. Soutsidis, however, marshalled him magnificently, and then won a free kick. Opportunities for both sides at both ends.
Yeah, you don't know where to stop and look and taking a breath, so great work there, Ethan. But Zoutsidis had to stand tall there. He had to shield the ball and at least get a foul, as the Magic were off and running again, and you could see the quick transition from the Magic. They're not looking to slow things down. They want to get George Cross on the counter, and at the moment they don't have any answers as yet, but still 0-0. So if they get into the half-time break, I think Eric Vasiliadis will be happy of the two. Goran Lozanoski might be a little bit disappointed that they haven't at least scored one, as Siciliano again, he loves to come out. As prior to that passage of play, he was almost starting where the canteen starts. He was all the way out in goals there, so he's a keeper that likes to come out, but at times I think you just need to time your runs a little bit there, Ethan.
Altona still looking to cause an issue. Kellott went back for a route, who was swarmed upon by 2, then 3, and he did superbly to get away, although he sold Gus short on the switch. Tucker intervened and then gave one for Leo Marzis to give chase to. He's got Kawaguchi in retreat, and Sordo went back to lend a helping hand. He was then taken by Tucker. Gust. Altona will have a free kick. Sordo just in a little bit of discomfort. Gus goes to check on him. It was a rather robust challenge from Tucker.
Yeah, interesting work there. It's good to see that he's back up on his feet, as Tucker committed to it. Did give away a free kick, so final 3 minutes left to go here at Decker Park. It is 0-0 in his round 10 Chenol NPL Victoria match. Goran Lozanoski not happy at the moment. He's just saying how many more fouls before a caution is given, as Filer wins the header. Dibb, they go back to Siciliano. Oh. And that's what we're talking about before. There's just that slight fraction of whether they decide to go straight or wide, and it's missed everyone that was intended to. So that's something that Eric Vasiliadis needs to get them under order. Need to be more, confident in decision making. As a Magic now going forward, is cleared by Whiteley. Kawaguchi again, he's been solid in defence so far. Finds Fabrizio. Played him onside. Good defensive work as Marzies will get there first. That looked borderline in or out, but Magic come away with it now as Filer clears. Heavy touch again as Cutler and Kawaguchi again first to the ball as Luke Lofts gets in the way. Tucker with a sliding challenge there. Lovely ball in. Cutler just bulldozes his way through there. Kawaguchi unfortunately got in the way. Zoutsidis. And the referee will stop the play. 1 minute at a time will be called.
And Kawaguchi has stayed down. That was quite a bit of contact that he wore. Altona Magic just concerned as to his well-being.
Yeah, he just got landed on by Daniel Cutler, so I'm sure that's just taken a little bit of wind out of him just before halftime as well. So I might give both coaches an opportunity to just get some words into their sides, ensure that, hey, don't lose the focus. Still got a long way to go, but if you sum up the first 45 minutes, Ethan, what would you say?
It's been a half of Altona trying, of George Cross defiance. No one's found a way through yet. A little bit of frustration for the Magic, who might have wanted to take one of the opportunities that they've created. And you can really feel the tension in this place at the moment. Caroline Springs George Cross yet to really hit top gear. Altona have just lacked the end product. Mabok had a good look. Sordo's caused issues. Fabrizio and Hatzopoulos have linked up well. Though that being said, they haven't been able to find a way beyond Siciliano. Filer and Zoutsidis both have been solid enough.
You've mentioned the tension. I've never heard a crowd at George Cross so quiet for a half of football. I mean, even last week when they were down, they were still cheering, trying to get their side, back on. But tonight's just been totally different, quiet from the home side. So that's how much there's tension in this game, that even the fans can feel it, that one mistake can be really costly. We've seen Georges have a few in the back line. They've gotten away with it so far, but there's still a half of football left to go. I wonder if Ross Clark will call time early here. We know we had a minute. We've almost 2 minutes into that initial minute as Siciliano eventually sends it long. Cutler and Kawaguchi going for the header. Gust, no one really pressing him. Looks to go long over the top. File up, heads it down. Chance now for the Magic. Is this the one last chance before the game? The tackle from Filer was pinpointed. They get a corner.
They do have time to take it. This may be the very last look of the first half. Sordo sauntering over. Can Altona add to Georgie disgruntlement so far? Still two, preventing a brief break. Sordo's take. Again, driven with depth. Siciliano punched only as far as Sutomo, who will not get to act further. And that brings to a close a tense, a close, and a cagey half of football. Caroline Springs, George Cross, perhaps a little bit disgruntled. Altona will be buoyant, though still hungry to find an opener. A plethora of opportunities for those on their travels this evening, though, despite a Siciliano scare, the hosts have been unblemished. Half-time at Decker Park. It's Caroline Springs, George Cross 0, Altona Magic 0.
Well, Georgie fans, it was a tough 45 minutes to watch there. It comes in at 0-0 at half-time. It's a big 45 minutes coming up, but we want to thank our matchday sponsor, Visit Malta. From world-class football facilities to crystal clear waters and historic cities, Malta is the perfect destination for sport, culture and relaxation. Visit Malta, a Mediterranean experience like no other. We also want to thank Decker. Decker Trifecta Weekend is coming to Shepparton on the 1st and 2nd of August. 3 challenges, 1 goal to prove your fitness. Can you do it? Make sure you sign up at Decca, and then get down there at Shepparton on the 1st and 2nd of August. Thank you to our matchday sponsors and everyone else. We couldn't have done it without your support. It's a big 45 minutes coming up for Georgie's. We will need everyone who's online to get behind the boys. It's a big 3 points on offer here tonight, and if the boys can get across the line, it'll definitely set them up for the next couple of weeks. We'll be back after this. Don't go away. There's plenty of football still left to come. Visit Malta. From world-class football facilities to crystal clear waters and historic cities, Malta is the perfect destination for sport, culture and relaxation. Visit Malta, a Mediterranean experience like no other. The Deca Trifecta weekend is coming up to Shepparton on the 1st and 2nd of August. 3 challenges, 1 goal to prove your fitness. Can you do it? Make sure you sign up. So thank you to Deca and Visit Malta and all our sponsors. It is a big 45 minutes coming up now. We need your support, Georges. Get behind the boys and let's bring them home for 3 points. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this round 10 clash in the Channel NPL Victoria between George Cross and Altona Magic, coming to you live from Deca Park. It's Ali Sivkarowski and Ethan Ridge bringing you the live action here. And Ethan, a big 45 minutes coming up. It was a bit of a stalemate in the opening 45, but we feel like it'll be a different 45 in the second half.
Someone has to go and win this game in the next 45 minutes. Altona in the first half were certainly the protagonists. They threw a lot at George Cross, who were able to withstand all of it. There were a couple of nervy moments in there for the hosts who hadn't exactly played their best football in the first 45. They hadn't hit a rhythm just yet. But that being said, the second half creates a whole entire host of new opportunities and perhaps a whole entire narrative to the one that this game has followed so far.
Well, trying to bring you any updates with substitution. It doesn't look like there has been any, Ethan. We'll watch a close eye on that. In judging by what we've seen, what do you think the George Cross need to do better in the second half? If they had to do, say, 2 things from you.
Take care of the ball a little bit better. I think in the first half they felt very frantic in possession, and it allowed Altona to gain that confidence of going and pressing for a side who were towards the bottom of the table, who, to be fair to them, have done well on their travels so far this season. You still have that slight tentativeness early, but because George Cross weren't as in control of the ball and they didn't take care of it as well, it gave Altona that confidence and a little bit more adventure going forward. I don't think they tested went enough. You saw it towards the end of the first half. They had a bit of a flurry. If they are to get something out of this game, that's something that needs to be more consistent. The second half about to get underway at Deca Park for Altona. You would say much of the same. Created a plethora of first half opportunities, were not able to take any. But that being said, the Magic are searching for a second 3 points of the season, a second win on the road, and they're off to a fantastic start. Kellart already wanting to get his way forward. Set it back for Sutomo. Kellart will get another look. Arau. His ball was whipped in without depth. Fabrizio battled, clipped over the top. Kawaguchi came sweeping through in order to clear. Altona placing a real impetus on keeping that second half momentum going, similar to how they did in the first. Jonathan Lofts gave chase, but was unsuccessful. Ben Hadou's throw. Again wanted Jonathan Lofts. Was flicked on by James. Back for Ben Hadou. Tsoutsidis. Happy to return to Siciliano, who wants to spear one long, and Whiteley giving chase. Arau dropped off to good effect. Kellart got around Jonathan Lofts. Gillard happy to clear his lines. Gave Mabok one to battle with Tsoutsidis, one which he wouldn't win. Ben Hadou got up well. Now James, who moved it on to Whiteley, and he's got 2 who are surging forward, one further as well. Whiteley's delivery. Mazis was charging and just wasn't able to apply a flick. It stays alive, however, for them. Set back for Dib. Really good launch from Leo Mazis, who almost provided the perfect start to the second half for Caroline Springs George Cross. Tsoutsidis kept it going. His clip was short of Ben Hadou. Arau on for Kellart, who gave Gus one that was hot to handle, and he did so fantastically with quite a lot of coolness, and then speared one in the channel for Sordo. Tucker with a loose touch, which allowed Sordo to charge. Hatzopoulos went to clip it round the corner. Shot for handball, waved away, Soutsidis. Without anyone further forwards. Steered it in the channel for Cutler to give chase to. Gillard, happy to recycle. Now Kawaguchi. First real opportunity of this second half, going the way of George Cross, Alex.
Yeah, it looks like Tyler James back on his feet. Might have just taken one in a solar plex there. He's back on his feet, which is a promising sign. But good start so far from George Cross, trying to get out of the blocks early, try to get that early goal. As Marzi's unable to pickpocket the ball, and it's a lovely ball down the line now. It's Magic into the box. Oh, they're falling over. Altona just trying to get it out. It's Aru, goes wide. Chance for Fabrizio. It took a deflection. It is a corner. And you can see how fast in transition they are, the Magic. And I think that's something that Eric Vissiliadis would have put that in the back of his defenders' minds, that need to make sure that they are first to the ball. And now chance for the Magic.
Second half's first corner. Kawaguchi's take. Fabrizio's effort took a wicked deflection, on which momentarily looked as though it may creep in. Before seeing itself wide, Kawaguchi stumbled as he took the corner. Found its way to Fabrizio, he hooked it on. Headed away by Soutsidis, only as far as Fabrizio, who wants a second take. That's a lovely roll. And then invited the trouble, Dib, and James went and won it. Fabrizio still going. Wasn't able to keep his footing. Tucker was tidy, Marzis ushered off it by Sotomo, and now a loose slip from Sordo has allowed an opportunity on the counter. Jonathan Loft still charging, had one then two to beat him, and Marzis both were wondering where a foul was for that first bit of contact. But Altona, nearly architects of their own downfall. Whiteley was quick to go. Ben Hadou, Soutsidis, and Filer. Hatopoulos just went to go and press him. And Gus did as well on the second to good effect.
Probably had a chance at a couple of calls of a foul there, whereas Luke Loft's just running through the middle. And that's something, a big mix-up there by Filer. And that's going to be a caution there for Filer in his 100th game. Again, just those 1% as we talk about, just took his eyes off the ball. Really didn't attack it. And that's something now Filer needs to be careful of. They can't afford to have him suspended for the next game. Up against Armidale next week. The Magic, can they take advantage of this opportunity now? We know the set pieces aren't their strongest suit. But Goran Lazanovski nervously looking at the sidelines there, trying to get his charges into position here. Cross comes in into the hot spot. Siciliano gets it on the grabs there, so a missed opportunity. Just having a look at the defenders for the Magic, as soon as it goes into the keeper's hands, Ethan, they straight away get back into position. They don't allow anything to get through them at this stage, which is a promising sign for the Magic.
Augustin Kawaguchi really watchful of that transition, especially with the way that Jonathan Lofts and Cutler have linked up at times early this season, especially on the counter, is where Caroline Springs George Cross have been quite devastating at times. They weren't able to do so in the first half because of that watchfulness. Chitomo as well, also one who dropped off. That's a beauty of a ball from Gillard, well taken by Kellart, who then set it on for Fabrizio, and he will help it on for Gust. Altona just building. Gus gave it a clip, Hatopoulos at the back post, the flag had stayed down, Ben Hadou was watchful, and it will find its way out for a goal kick.
Just took a slip at the last second there. Again, a big chance for the Magic. So, opening 6 minutes here has been quite end-to-end action, which will please the viewers at home, but either coach there will probably be biting whatever fingernails they have left, as Siciliano, tonight's distribution hasn't been what it has been over the last couple of weeks, as Kellart now coming out, goes short to Gillard. Aru making a run down the line here. It's a lovely long diagonal ball. Siciliano, he leaves that very, very late. Sometimes you just, a keeper, they're a different breed. As Gillard heads that one back. Dib Need more from him as Lofts, lovely little bring down as, again, just plenty of white shirts around now. They look to go forward here. Good block there by James. Just having a look, there's a player just, looks like it's Daniel Cutler. He's back on his feet. Just pulling up his socks there. I thought he was just losing his balance a little bit.
Gus went searching down the line. Topoulos was the one to chase. Filer. Again for Siciliano. Gillard happy to drop off. Gust made the header work. And then it was fouled by Dib, who was just a little bit too over-eager to go and win it. Just elapsed over 7.5 in this second half. Still neither side able to break a deadlock. We started this second half where we finished the first, right where we kicked off this game. Still a real arm wrestle out in the west this evening. And what was quite a tense Decker Park in the first half, it's looked a little bit more lively at the start of this second. Much of the evening's watchers were stunned into silence for the best part of half an hour in that first half, though Caroline Springs George Cross have started slightly brighter. Throw down the line. One for Cutler, which went in then out.
Just having a look at the bench at the moment, Ethan, and trying to see where the George Cross players are. No one's really warming up, so it'll be interesting to see what occurs in the next few minutes, whether a change is made as Whiteley gets out-muscled by Aru. Lovely ball in, or it's a lovely flick, but Zoutsides is there, or not what he wanted to do. They go back to Siciliano now. Just chips it up in the air by Siciliano. Bernardo, great control. James, Whiteley. Just a little bit more as falls for Lofts. Dib didn't attack the ball there. Gillard. This is a lot better here from the Magic now, trying to spread the field. They play it out wide. Cross comes in, headed away by Zoutsides. James has got 3 to beat. Lofts really too casual there. They get a lucky break now. Falls out wide to Marzis now. George Cross on the front foot. Marzis, great tackle there from Gillard. He just stood his ground. He comes back the other way now. He's got to be careful not to give it away. Aru, Aru puts himself under the pump here. Marzis did well. Sold it nicely, lovely through ball, but plenty of Magic players behind as Dib with the header. Nicholas Dib now out wide. It's Whiteley. Cross comes into the hot spot. Cleared away by Kawaguchi. Falls for Mabok. Given away now. And a poor pass in the end there from Jordan Tucker as Guest comes away with it.
And Gus might want to go the other way. He's quickly on for Sordo. And Altona sent an opportunity on the break. Had one centrally, one further forward. That's a terrific challenge to slow him up, and then Filer came away with it. Brilliantly done from Dib. Just to slow up Sordo as he was starting to motor. Siciliano again speared into the channel. Gave Cutler one to go and battle for. Gus with a loose touch. Leo Marzis starting to get into this second half. Altona had a momentary lapse, and ever so nearly were made to pay for it. Zoutsides. Benhadou. Kellart just went to go and press him. It was chopped off for James. And the other way for Filer. How he would love a victory tonight. An important milestone for him. As the best way to sweeten it would be with 3 points, so that's a giveaway. And Sutomo has released Mabok. And again, to our forward. Mabok set it on and behind Hatsopoulos, though Kellart will keep it alive. He drops it off for Fabrizio, who threaded it. Mabok on the swim, that's a beautiful finish. Drilled. And Altona make good on that momentum. Mabok makes Georgie's pay, and the Magic lead on the road.
It was a beautiful finish in the end. It all started with Fabrizio, just patiently waited, the run come in, and beautifully taken in the end. Filer knows he can't get too close to him, otherwise if he gives away a penalty, it will be a sending off for him. And it's a beautiful finish for Mabok. We knew it was coming in. We knew it was coming, Ethan. We knew it was just a matter of time. And in the end, the Magic put one away. And that's a big, big sigh of relief for Goran Lozanovsky. But for Eric Vasiliadis, now the challenge has been set. Can he get his side back into this game?
On approach of the hour, a real Mabok missile has got Altona ahead. Picked his spot and found its postage stamp. And Georgie disgruntlement is deepened. They have it to do on their own special patch. Wanting to avoid back-to-back defeats here. Looking for quick response. Philo was forceful and it was quite a way behind Marzis. But for Altona, created many an opportunity in the first half. As much as there's jubilation, there's relief that they've taken one. As Hatsopoulos and Kellott then sorted it out centrally. And maybe, just maybe, they could be buoyed by this. He set it off for Gust. Whiteley went to go and press. Kellott's tidy 1-2. Oh, it's a beauty of a ball. And now all of a sudden, Sordo's in behind. Options converging for him. He got his way around Philo, flipped him inside out, and Fabrizio flicked it wide. That might have been the look for Altona's magic man so far this season. Glorious ball stood up for him. A Sordo special. And he was not too far from doubling it in quick succession.
Well, the Magic, pardon the pun, have started to turn on the Magic here. And George Cross at the moment have no answers at all. Looking back at that replay, that should have been in the back of the net. And Georgies now have really need to steady the ship. They need to get themselves back under control. Filer is giving away another foul. That's a free kick and he could be in trouble here for a second caution. The Magic players are coming over. And it'll be interesting to see whether the referee, Ross Clark, he's an experienced campaigner, he knows he won't get sucked into the mind games of the players. But this is where it's a big moment in the game, Ethan, because if he's off, Georgie's nights just goes from bad to worse.
And it would not be the way that he wants to mark a special evening on a personal note either. There is a little bit of deliberation. He seems to have escaped further reprimand, though has given a free kick away in a very, very promising position, right on the edge of the area. Altona, who added 1 minute ago, have got an opportunity to further dampen the mood.
I think he needs to make a change here. I think Morgan needs to come off and maybe put Maker on. He got away with one there. I'm not sure the next one, the referee would be generous now. So Magic looking at making it 2-0 from here. As patiently waiting for the ball. Whistle goes, no. Ross Clark eventually does. Cross comes in, it's low, it's taken a deflection. It's bound to be cleared. It was like a sea of legs and players everywhere we couldn't see. And eventually it's cleared, so that might force a change. We see the fourth official just getting the numbers ready. And Eric Vasiliadis now knows it's now or never. He needs to make these changes. They're going to spark his side into action. Because a loss here will be back-to-back losses for him, and they're facing a red-hot Avondale side who will be bleeding after last night's 2-1 loss. So testing times for the Georgie faithful, and you can see that clearance there just sums up their evening so far.
They are in need of answers, and maybe a change being prepped. Down on the touchline. Just over an hour gone at Decker Park. Avondale are next up for George Cross, who need to go and save themselves. Altona made the breakthrough, and now maybe an opportunity for Marzis, who has won a free kick. And a couple of George Cross questions being posed to the official about further punishment.
Well, it looks very close from our range here. But this is pretty much a smart tackle there from Kawaguchi. He knew, couldn't afford to allow him to get through. As Georgie's patiently waiting to make the change, it looks like it will be a double change. It's like Spiteri and Maker will come on, but prior to that now, they've got a big moment in this game. Can they get something out of this? It's Luke Lofts over the ball. We've seen him hit him from range. It's going to be a triple change, looks like it. So we'll get back to that one shortly. Little dink over the top. Magic deal with it. Aru can clear and go forward. Now it's all Magic up the other end. They send it long. Just couldn't get it under control. Just lost sight of it. They switch it the other way. Simple header for Kawaguchi to Gust. And Magic now get it under control.
Sutomo set it on for Gillard. Hatzopoulos, if he just kept his footing, might have been in. Gillard is swarmed upon by Dib. Set it back for Wentz, who gave it quite a bit of height. It's a lot of Hatzopoulos. Filer. James wanted to flick it on. Gillard did well. That's a tidy touch from Fabrizio Kellarts. Again, happy to set it back. Speared long. Looking for Mabok, who's flicked it on, and Garang Arau is in behind. Oh, his shots turned tame in the end. What an opportunity that is for Altona to double their lead. It's a lovely touch from Mabok, just to set Arau through, and he wasn't able to find a finishing touch. Kawaguchi nodded it on for Fabrizio, and now Arau's lost it and has given Dib a pullback.
Surely that's a card.
It was rather blatant, and for it, he will receive a yellow card. That triple change, which has been delayed for some time, will now find its way.
Luke Lofts will come off. Maker will come on. Looks like Dib is coming off as well. Nicholas Dib coming off. Justin Spiteri coming on. And Daniel Cutler coming off. And number 5 is Maker. So interesting, he's left Morgan Filer on with a yellow. So maybe just keeping that up his sleeve. So Josh Whiteley now over the ball. All those 3 substitution make a difference. Maybe a slight adjustment in their formation as well. It's Whiteley. Brings it into the box. It's headed backwards there. Oh, Casey had to force a save out of that one. It is a corner. It's only their 2nd of the game so far.
Really awkward one to deal with for Casey Went, and Arau didn't get the flick he wanted. Wanted to go the other way, and it dipped devilishly on the keeper, who readjusted well. Result is a George Cross corner. Swung in with depth, went and claimed it comfortably. Again, an opportunity though for Caroline Springs. George Cross squandered from a set piece, and he's flung it quickly on for Kellard. Soutsidis was in retreat, as was James, who wasn't able to keep it alive. Those are the opportunities that they really must start to make the most of. Filer has found himself operating as a momentarily centre forward. Soutsidis flicked it on. Marzis unable to get round her out.
Well, it hasn't worked for him this evening, so anything can happen. I mean, they still have a couple of other players, like Callum Pickford could play that role as well, so Eric Vasiliadis, happy to make changes. Not sure how Goran Lozanovsky continues to have a voice at the end of the game. Might have a sponsorship with Lozenger's company, Spiteri, coming on. Getting some minutes. Fabrizio now tries to break the lines. He shoves Spiteri out the way. Fabrizio shoots. Takes a deflection, as Siciliano is probably happy with that one.
There they are, still giving away opportunities. Siciliano's had quite a busy evening. He sent it long, looking for Filer. Gust got up and found Fabrizio. Arau. Gillards. And they're forced all the way back. When bundled it, Mabok was coming back from an offside position, so Maker got up. Filer, that's a gorgeous flick, not once but twice from Fabrizio. And Mabok got between himself and Spiteri and won a free kick. Just showcased so much composure and calm in the middle of the park. There's Daniel Fabrizio this evening so far. Just a gorgeous and composed little clip. And it just relieves the pressure for Altona and now gives them the opportunity to revert it back on George Cross.
Casey Wynn just given the hurry along now. Oh, poor pass as Whiteley to Filer. Still in play. Benadu timed it well. It's gone the other way. Interesting call there by the referee. So nothing is going right for the for George Cross at the moment. As Aru goes short. Sutomo. Marzi's. He's got to do it on his own now. Marzi's, good work there from Aru. Coming in to cut him off. So testing times here. We've got about 23 odd minutes left to go in this game. Can Georges find the equaliser? They switch it over to the left-hand side, but Gus always heads it backwards. Mustadanagic now. Trying to whip in a cross, it's cut off. Another cross into the box, and it's Wentz who grabs it with both hands.
And for KC went him and Altona are 22 plus stoppages from a first clean sheet of the season. Been hard to come by for the Magic, who made it quite a habit last campaign. At the moment, they are keeping George Cross stifled, and Mabok battled with Benhadou, who did well to win it and thumped it into a route. Can they find a spark? That's a lovely long fling out for Filer. Marzis will make its way out to Mr. Danagic. Fancy to go, it took a deflection and then ricocheted off Kawaguchi. Filer, Whiteley, threaded it into the area. It's a brilliant opportunity. Wentz down in agony, but what a golden look that is for George Cross, and one which they have squandered.
Spiteri there, just couldn't get his feet together. That was a big moment in the game. Just needed to get his foot on the end of it. And that is a massive, massive chance. And Casey Wynn, I think, might have taken one in the crown jewels there. So that's definitely going to sting on a cold night, that's for sure. But again, it's that moments in the game that we speak about. If you don't take those moments, you're going to be looking back thinking, how did not that go in the back of the net? Another chance for the players to just have a quick break and make a couple of tactical changes here. It's been a very strange evening here. As we said, Ethan, we haven't heard the home fans so quiet, or this quiet in a very, very long time, even through the toughest of times that this club has gone through. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the remaining 20 minutes here at Decker Park.
It's not just Casey Went who's down at the moment either. Altona have got another issue. It looks as though Kawaguchi is down behind play too. He took a knock in the first half. Seemed to have recovered from it well, though at the moment he is not in the best way. Daniel Fabrizio and Kellart both getting quite the bit of instruction. So Wentz, who seems to be grasping at his fingers. This could be problematic for the keeper. As Kawaguchi's back on his feet.
He's had a solid game, Casey Went. He's definitely inserted himself in this game. He's made sure that he hasn't made the mistakes of the past, and at the moment he's done everything right to get the 3 points for his side. This will be a big blow if he has to come off. No sympathy from the home fans. Haven't had a lot to sing about so far this evening.
Some rather vicious vocals. As Casey Went, still undergoing treatment. This is quite the lengthy assessment.
What do George Cross need to do here, Ethan, in the final 20-odd minutes?
They've started to create a few chances. It's all about taking one now. That was a great look for Spiteri on the move that caused Went's current predicament. But they've just shown a little bit more adventure going forward. The substitutions have worked, and they have given them a little bit more of an edge. Whether they're open and were able to open up Altona. It's all about taking that opportunity. It will come in the final 20 minutes, and the stoppages that will be added on for this more than brief pause in proceedings. And from there, if they get it early, it is anybody's guess as who goes on to win this game. For Altona, with all being said, this evening is so far so good.
Well, it's at the moment, he's back on his feet, Casey Went, which is a good sign. Apologies for the idiots in the car park. I'm not sure what they're trying to achieve, but we're back into this game here as Went brings it back into play. Maker, Gust. Lovely ball down the line now to foot race, Zoutsidis. Goes back to Siciliano. Aru sends it back, so no one really wanting to take control as James, unorthodox approach, but it's worked. Again, Kawaguchi's been in the thick of things so far today as Whiteley, it falls for him nicely. Lovely ball down the line to Marzis now, he gets there first. Leo Marzis looks upfield, trying to take on Aru. Can go back to Whiteley, cross comes in, it's a good one there. Gus gets in the way. He's gone down there. I'm not sure if you've seen anything, Ethan.
He was caught in that ball to the back post from Whiteley, which was a beauty. Though it was Filer going one way. And a late arrival at the back post which collected him. It was collateral damage of his own clearance. Altona weren't happy about it. Now they have a throw to defend. George Cross searching for an equaliser. Thumped away by Gus, who got back to his feet and seems to be okay.
Testing times for both sides. As look to go long again into the box. Players falling over. Mabok. Numbers streaming forward here for the Magic. Good work that time from James, last man in defence. So Altona slowly just creeping up ever so close to the goals of their opponents. And that's something that Eric Vasiliadis will definitely not like, as Maker goes back to Siciliano. Good ball in the middle of the park. Eventually falls for Marzis. Gets past the challenge far too easily. And Gust just knew where it needed to be.
George Cross still pressing. Still looking for a way back into this game. Marzis seeing what he can influence. They've got a quarter of an hour plus stoppages to save themselves on an evening where a win would take them into the top 6. Defeat, however, leaves them languishing outside it and wondering what could have been. Acrobatic from Sordo. Mabok then helped it on for Hatzopoulos. Kellart, and Sordo stayed down. And Gillard!
Oh,
as Ben Hadou came flying through, and he's off. That a real changer in this game. And all of a sudden, something that was mellowing has exploded into life.
It was a silly challenge. It was not needed. Bernardo coming back from that long-term injury. He's gone down. We've also got another Magic player on the far side. And that red card could have just changed the game in favour of George Cross now. That is a huge moment in the game. He had to commit, Gillard. He knew that he had to be first to the ball, but Bernardo just managed to go around him, but Ross Clark had no choice. He had to give the card there, because if he didn't, it would have been obviously massive, massive shouts from the Georgie boys. Now, can they take advantage of it, Ethan, is the big question. Can Georgies now take advantage? Because we know Altona can stay compact. We know that they can really bunker down. They've got the lead. They're trying to get their first win in 2 months, their first clean sheet, as you said. Now the game just turned on its head.
Goodness gracious me. A real twist to the tail. Gillard had to walk as last man. He went flying in. Ben Hadou wore that full force. And so, for Caroline Springs George Cross, an opportunity. Up against 10 to the close. And they've got a free kick in an incredibly promising position. And Ben Hadou back on his feet, gingerly albeit. This now, a golden, golden look. A real opportunity. Not only to get level, but perhaps to cause further Altona issue.
Well, they've still got to deal with the player that's gone down on the far side.
It was Sordo, who was part of the initial phase. He'd stayed down. Altona didn't put it out. Gillard had the opportunity. He went to play it, then lost it. As Ben Hadou came barging through, he was clattered into. And Sordo, he's now off the field of play on the far side. Ben Hadou is all right. Though, having just come back from a big injury, you get the feeling George Cross could change that. You wouldn't want to take any precautions. There isn't too much movement at the moment, but they have a free kick, and they've got two that you would want over it. Marzis one in deep conversation, and Mustadanovic the other.
I think it'll be Marzis on the right foot here. Could be wrong, but we'll go with it. Back yourself in now. It's a big moment in the game. Can Georgies find the back of the net?
Three in the Altona wall. All waiting on this. A real hush around this place, though. It's been silent this evening, far like this. A real chance. It is Leo Marzis' free kick, and Wentz was watchful and gathered. And then was quick to go, and Sordo, who was reinstated, was almost immediately re-involved. Though his brief look at an opportunity forwards was stifled out by Ben Hadou.
Yeah, should have been a lot better there. At least force a save out of Casey Went. Test those fingers. A chance goes begging. It'll be quite a substantial amount of stoppage time in this one. But now the testing time occurs for the Magic. They're down a player. They're trying to hold on to a lead. They're vying for their first win since round one. And Goran Lozanovsky, in all his years of playing and coaching now, has to just make sure he gets his boys across the line. As now is the testing time, as this is where Magic will want the stop-start football. It'll help them out immensely. It'll frustrate George Cross. He's looking to make also a double change here. Looks like Lawton coming on. So maybe a tactical change as well as Owen McCloskey. We've got a player down in the middle of the park there. Looks like it's Filer as the Magic continue now. As eventually Kawaguchi goes out. And that might bring on the change now for the Magic. There's Brandon Lawton and Owen McCloskey will come on. Be interesting to see who comes off. Main Sordo. And Peter Hatsopoulos.
So again, Hatsopoulos withdrawn with 10 to the close. McCloskey, who provided that ball in for a route to head in at Heidelberg, gave Altona a late point, hoping for his legs on the breakaway. Lawton will be in to break things up. So the night for the two wingers is done. Sordo had his opportunities, Hatsopoulos had glimpses, but weren't able to create anything more fruitful.
Ball going forward now. Maker clears to the safety. And it looks like Georges might make one last change here. As we said earlier on, we were saying that would they be happy with a draw? I think the way the game's gone, I think they'll take that point. Disappointed that they could only take a point, but at this stage, a point is better than walking away with none. As Filer flicks it on, Aru just sends it onto the roof. But the talking point will be the red card for Gillard. He will miss the trip next week to Dandy City at home. Chance now for George Cross, across into the box. It's headed away by Lawton. Whiteley trying to get it out. He brings it out wide. It's kept in. It's a low cross. We've seen a player go down in the box there. Spiteri might have just slipped. And Went just grabs it easily.
And with Almazi injured, Gillard now suspended. That's quite the predicament defensively as Garing are out. As well as a couple other in Altona white, just pressing the question as Mabok remained down. Casey Went was the biggest asker of the question of stopping play. And the question now becomes about stoppage time as well. It starts to linger in the mind, not only of both on the touchline, not only of the fourth official. Just how long will they get in addition to what we have had so far? You get the feeling this second half, it could be lengthy. Quite a few stoppages.
Could be 10 minutes, I would say, with the stoppages we've had.
Well, only 5 to go at this point in time. Altona are clinging on, and Mabok is making his way to the far side, and there is a real issue being poised by the physio that he needs to be changed, that his evening is done.
Yeah,
that would be quite problematic for Altona, because not only he provides that attacking threat, but at times when Arao's ventured forward, he's been unafraid to drop in at fullback.
Yeah, absolutely. He's done a job. It looks like Eric Zhu will come on. So Magic will make the change at the next break of play as Maker to James. Siciliano going wide to Bernardo. He's got a bit of space in front of him. Lawton covering his tracks. Cross into the box. Kawaguchi back to Lawton. Oh, McCluskey there just a little bit slow to the ball. Bernardo now crosses a good ball into the box. It's left for Gust. And he'll send it for a corner there. And a substitution now as Eric Zhu will come on. And coming on off will be John Mabok, like you said, the goal scorer, just not able to continue.
He may have turned match winner for Altona. George Cross have a corner as Eric Constantini Zhu will make his way on. Mabok's evening's done. He's sauntering off rather gingerly, though. His impact could be priceless if they are to hold on. Corner for George Cross. They are running out of time to rescue themselves. Sent to the near post, and Gus got up above anybody. Spiteri let it fall his way, and had 2 to go around. Got away from run, beyond Fabrizio too, and maybe an opportunity for Altona to break. Constantidis was all on his own. Stump long for Filer, and the flag has stayed down despite a lot of protests. Ben Hadou's ball in to a dangerous area, and Gust happy to hammer it away, and now a loose touch, which all of a sudden opens the door for Constantidis to apply immense pressure to Tucker, and he did well to spare his own blushes. Tutsidis on for Ben Hadou, got away from Fabrizio, and now steered it on, and maybe, just maybe, George Cross have got an opportunity. Mr. Danigic with a good ball in. Filer couldn't get his feet right. Altona wants a foul, they won't get one. Maker continued it. Ben Hadou. Mr. Danigic will give chase, and will spear one in. Filer was lurking. It'll find its way to Whiteley. What a save that is from Wentz, and the follow-in is steered wide. Brilliant keeping from the Altona shot stopper. That was a terrific stop.
What a moment.
Whiteley.
What a moment that was. He just got a fingertip to it. Another chance. Still going. It's in the box. Shouts for handball. James there to clear. Magic now turn their attention to defence. Musa Danigic. He's been good since coming on. Cross comes in. Again, Aru clears. George is just falling over themselves, trying to get to the ball. Lawton, Zoutidis. First to the ball there, Zoutidis. A couple of nervy moments there, Ethan, in that passage of play. The Magic are holding on for dear life at the moment. George is just pondering what went wrong this game so far. Lawton. Benadu. Maker. Finds Zoutidis. They've got to go long at every chance they get. We don't know how many minutes at a time there will be. Siciliano. Too easy that time for Kala. Zoutidis goes long. Again, another good ball to Mr. Danic. Can he find someone on the end of it? It's a poor cross. And that just sums up their evening.
Can ill afford to be wasteful, especially late on. We'll get word of stoppage time in 30 seconds time. We are closing in. George Cross will make a change though in the meantime. Filer's evening was the number that was put up, though his won't come to an end. It will continue. Ben Hadou will have his night come to an end. And Callum Pickford comes on for all that will remain, which is 9 additional minutes for George Cross to pinch a leveller, or for Altona to hold on with gritted teeth. Sent for Marzis, but only found Gust, who was happy to get it anywhere.
Yeah, I think at the moment now, that's what we're going to see, and it's going to get called back. So Georges have to go long at every moment they get. Magic holding on for dear life at the moment. They're holding on to the 3 points by their fingernails, if they have any left. Musa Danigic. Magic just bunkering down now, 2 blocks of 4. They know the importance of these 3 points. It might not get them out of the drop zone, but it just gives them some hope into next week's game. It's headed backwards now. Could be another opportunity here for a long throw.
This may be the first of many a look that Altona will have to weather. George Cross in search of an equaliser. It's not been their evening. Can they pinch something? Long throw taken, nodded away by Arau. Complete chaos for Altona. Gust then hammered it. And it will go out for a goal kick.
Casey went happy to take the long route to get a ball. Gonna try to rush this one and milk every bit of almost 7.5 minutes we've got left in this game. Goran Ozanovsky just trying to distract the 4th official here. Testing times here for the Magic. Can they hold on? Magic now in the box seat for all 3 points. Can Georgies respond? Musa Deganagic, not sure what he was trying to achieve, but he wins the throw. He goes along. Aru clears to safety. Musa Deganagic again, looking to go long. They have to go long at every moment they go. James sends it long into the box. It's too long.
Another opportunity goes begging. And with each that's squandered and with each that ticks down, not only is it precious time, it's precious pressure that could be applied to Altona. Wentz happy to go long. That's a lovely flick from Spiteri, gave Mazis one to chase. Kawaguchi's turn to clear. George Cross have to try and pinch something. They've got Avondale next week. That, a massive name for Altona, though. If they're to hold on and play Dandenong City off the back of a win, that would be crucial for them. Early season relegation battle. Could be a way to escape the drop. Maker in the meantime only speared it for Kellart. Fabrizio evaded two and then gave it away. Filer wasn't able to take it under. Sutomo speared it into the channel. And that right now for Altona will do. And wanting to let it run out of play. Tucker tried to keep it alive, though it had gone out either way. Siciliano on for Sutsidis. Mazis again afforded quite a lot of space down the left. Instead went to Mustadanagic, who this time went spearing, and Whiteley got in behind. Aru was in retreat. Whiteley forced back by him and Lawton. Mustadanagic's overlap, clipped it with depth, but clipped it only to Went.
Poor cross there from Mustadanagic. Needed to find someone in there. This just helps the Magic now. Playing 4 minutes out of the 9. Will seem like a lifetime away for the Magic fans. Watching this one closely. It's gone backwards. It'll be a throw here. Testing times. Mustadanagic again now. He's been real lively since coming on. Can he find someone on the end of the long throw? They launch it into the box. It's flicked on. And Maker couldn't get there in the end.
Just a little too much on it from Tsutsidis' initial flick. Half of stoppage time has elapsed. And still, George Cross are no closer to going and splitting the spoils. Can they craft one more opportunity? That's incredibly wasteful from Tucker, who asked more of Mazis than would have been capable. Lawton, Gust. Mazis then caused an issue and got away from Gust and won a free kick.
Will there be a caution though? Is the question. It is. Looks like Lawton going into the books.
He was not best pleased about the reaction and the issuing of that free kick. Gus gave it away. Mazis chopped beyond. He was brought down. And for kicking it away, Lawton finds his way with a yellow card. So a George Cross free kick. Siciliano is up and Wentz again claimed it courageously. Quite the night he's had from the set piece, and Siciliano may just want to hurry back a little bit. Went will give it everything. McCloskey gave chase and ran out of room just before being able to go on the march. Complete chaos out in Caroline Springs. And is there one last twist to the tail, one change to the script? Maker moved it on for Whiteley. Options converging in the centre. He whipped it in. Philo was lurking. Arau got a header. George Cross will have a corner. And again, Siciliano is streaming forward. 6.5 of stoppage time played. Still some time for them to go and save themselves. Corner with depth. Siciliano not in a bad spot. The flick on has found its way! Georgie jubilation! And Filer, it's the milestone man who may have just split the points. Unbelievable. They've only gone and stolen it. Mayhem. And a cacophony of relief from those in Caroline Springs, George Cross, red and white.
Well, it had to be somebody, and that somebody was the man with the 100 games underneath his belt. And what a way to bring up your 100th game by scoring in the 96th minute and quite possibly earning this team a point, but they're going for a second now. It's Whiteley. Oh, Kawaguchi heads it away, shouts a free kick. They go wide. It's Whiteley now. Back into the box. Although the audacious there. Again, Leo Marzi's.
Nearly went acrobatic, nearly went spectacular. Final minutes of this game. Final minute of stoppage time. No one could go and pinch this again, could they? Altona got a head through the block. Filer, celebrating himself as a Centurion, has got the leveller, though there may be a late opening. McCloskey, Fabrizio, lost it, or is it the other way? Possibly one last go for George Cross. Set back for Tucker, who got around one, then got around two. He steered it on for Pickford, whose ball down the line was cut out by Sutomo. Gust, happy to see it out.
Well, we've hit almost the 9-minute mark now. Nervous moments for both sides here. Goran Lozanovsky can't believe it. He knows the importance of those 3 points. They still going forward now, Georgies. Filer, can he bring it another chance? He goes down the line, Whiteley chasing, giving it his all. Gus will be happy to see that one go over the line, and surely that's the full-time whistle after this kick. Ross Clark hasn't looked at his watch just as yet. He's given the hurry along.
Even though it hasn't been their night, Caroline Springs, George Cross found a way. And for Altona, the wait for a second win this season is going to continue. They took the lead just shy of the hour via a magnificent finish courtesy of John Mabok. But then in stoppage time, George Cross's Centurion Filer came up big and rescued a point from the brink of catastrophe. Still for them, it was not the 3 they were looking for. However, spoils shared out in Caroline Springs. A chaotic closure to a chaotic football match, and one that was most fantastic. Full time out west. Caroline Springs, George Cross 1. Altona Magic 1.
Well, Georgie fans, we can finally breathe. It might not have been the 3 points that we wanted, but a well-earned draw as Morgan Filer in his 100th game came up big in the moment, and to secure at least a point. We couldn't have done it without a matchday sponsor. Without them, we couldn't have brought you this telecast, and we can't thank them enough. And make sure you always give them a follow. And we want to thank them personally. It is Visit Malta. From world-class football facilities to crystal clear waters and historic cities, Malta is the perfect destination for sport, culture and relaxation. Visit Malta, a Mediterranean experience like no other. And the Deca Trifecta weekend is coming to Shepparton on the 1st and 2nd of August. 3 challenges, 1 goal to prove your fitness. If you think you can do it, make sure you sign up at the Deca Trifecta weekend, 1st and 2nd of August. Thank you all who have tuned in tonight. It's been a fantastic evening. I'm sure the boys will be very proud of the support they received. We look forward to Avondale next week before we're back home again. Thank you all and have a great weekend.